You're gonna think I'm a monster after this. And honestly, some days I think I am too. Because I did something unforgivable. Something that changed my sister's life forever. I sabotaged her college acceptance. I'm 20 now. I live at home with my parents and my younger sister. Well, younger. By just 1 year. Let's call her Emily. Growing up, Emily and I weren't just sisters. We were rivals. I don't think it started that way on purpose. It was more like everyone else made it that way. Teachers compared us. Relatives compared us. Even our parents compared us, even if they didn't mean to. Emily was always the golden child. Straight A's, perfect GPA, captain of the debate team. She played violin, volunteered at the animal shelter, tutored kids in math. She was the type of person colleges drool over. And me? I wasn't dumb, but I was. Average. B student. Tried sports but never excelled. Theater for a while, but I froze on stage. Art classes, but nothing portfolio-worthy. I was just there. And when you live in the shadow of someone like Emily, being just there feels like being invisible. I hated it. But more than that, I hated her. Or at least I thought I did. The college application year was hell. Our house basically turned into a shrine for Emily's future. Flyers, brochures, pamphlets everywhere. My mom plastered the fridge with Ivy League logos. My dad bragged to every relative who'd listen that Emily was aiming for the top. Meanwhile, my applications were safe schools, state colleges, a couple of smaller private ones, nothing shiny, nothing Ivy. I didn't even bother applying to the big names because what was the point? And you know what really stung? Nobody noticed. Nobody asked me about my applications. They only asked, "So, has Emily heard back yet?" It was like I was just the warm-up act and Emily was the star. I remember one night, we were both at the kitchen table, laptops open, working on our essays. Mom was hovering over Emily, giving her feedback, pointing out strong sentences. She didn't even glance at mine. And that's when something inside me snapped. It wasn't just jealousy. It was this bone-deep rage. Like, why does she get to have everything? Why's she the one with a future while I'm just this afterthought? And that night, I did something I never thought I'd do. Emily had left her laptop open. She'd gone upstairs to shower, leaving her Common App essay draft on the screen. I should have just ignored it. Closed the laptop. Walked away. But I didn't. I opened the file. I read her essay. And it was good. Really good. She wrote about taking care of our grandmother after her stroke, how it shaped her sense of responsibility, how it made her want to study medicine. It was powerful, emotional, and it made me furious, because I knew that essay was going to get her in. That essay was the ticket. And I sabotaged it. I copied it to a USB drive. And then, God, I still can't believe I did this. I logged into the application portal she'd left saved. I changed her essay, just enough. Made it clunky. Took out the emotional punch, turned it into something generic and forgettable. Then I closed it all. Like nothing happened. You know what's worse? She trusted me. She always trusted me. She thought I'd never hurt her. But I did. Weeks later, the acceptance letters started rolling in. I'll never forget the night Emily opened her dream school email. Everyone was gathered around her. Mom had her phone out, recording like it was some historic moment. And then, rejection. She froze. My mom's smile fell. My dad tried to play it off like, "Oh, it's just one school, plenty more to come." But Emily, I saw it in her face. She was shattered. She'd worked for this her entire life, and in a single email, it was gone. One by one, more rejections came. Not all. She got into good schools, really good ones, but not the one. Not the one she'd dreamed of, the one she'd built her whole identity around. And she blamed herself. She cried in her room at night, thinking she wasn't good enough. I'd hear her sobbing, whispering things like, "What did I do wrong?" And I just lay there in my bed, silent, pretending to sleep, pretending my heart wasn't ripping itself apart. If you've made it this far, I need to ask you, what would you have done in my place? Would you have confessed? Or would you have stayed quiet, like I did? Because even now, I don't know which one's worse. It didn't stop there. The guilt followed me everywhere. I'd see her struggling to update her college choice on social media, writing fake cheerful posts about being excited for the next chapter, when I knew inside she was crumbling. And every time she looked at me, every smile, every hug, it was like a knife. Because she didn't know. She thought I was on her side. I kept waiting for the truth to come out. For someone to notice the essay wasn't as good as her draft, for her to put 2 and 2 together. But she never did. She blamed herself. And my parents blamed the system. Nobody blamed me. Nobody knew it was me. And maybe that's the worst part. The closest I came to confessing was one night. She was sitting on the edge of her bed, crying quietly. She said, "I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe I'm just not as smart as everyone thought." And I almost said it. I almost blurted out the truth. But instead, I hugged her, told her she was amazing, that she didn't need that school to prove her worth. Which is true, but it also felt like the cruelest lie I've ever told. Here I am, years later, still carrying it. She's in college now. She's doing well, making friends, building her life. Sometimes I look at her and wonder, would things have been different if I hadn't sabotaged her? Would she be happier? Would she be on a completely different path? And here's the sickest part. Sometimes I wonder if I saved myself. Because if she had gotten in, if she'd flown off to that dream school, I would have been left behind in her shadow again. It's selfish. It's cruel. But it's the truth. Seriously, leave a comment. I still don't know if I did the right thing by staying silent. I ruined her dream, but would telling her now ruin her life even more? You want to know the twisted irony? She still calls me her best friend. She still says I'm the one who always has her back. And sometimes, when she says that, I almost break because she doesn't know. She has no idea that the person she trusts most is the reason her biggest dream slipped away. And I don't know if I'll ever tell her. So yeah, that's my confession. I sabotaged my sister's college acceptance, and I'll carry that secret to my grave.